What's up, everybody? My name is CoalFire, and welcome back to the community Q&A. We got some good questions, we got some good answers, and quite frankly, I just love the fact that a lot of you took the time to write something, both about yourself and to ask me something, and some of the messages were just absolutely heartwarming, and that's, you know, why I wanted to do this. That's why I wanted to create a YouTube channel and start growing a community. Because I want to be a part of something bigger than myself, and you guys are all helping me realize that. But first, Kitty Automatic asks, or says, I like cats. Do you like cats? Kitty Automatic, yes. I fucking love cats. Cats are my life. Cats are pretty much the only reason for my existence in my current state, insofar as that to them, I feed them, I clean up after them, I give them pets, and they are essentially 99% of all of the interaction that I have with other mammals. Yeah, I like cats. I like cats a lot. Manticatal. I'd like to know why and what inspired you to start doing YouTube. And me, I'm a half-dead, never started YouTuber who wants to make content, but halfway through I get demotivated, and that's me. I'm glad I could find this YouTube channel that has so much potential, and I'm glad to be a part of its growth. Dude, I completely feel that. I've made a whole bunch of videos that will never see the light of day because I was just not okay with them. I didn't think they turned out well. I didn't think the game was great, and I don't like shitting on games that much, because it's all about creativity and shit. But, I mean, I talked about it at the beginning of the video, but why I wanted to start doing YouTube was, you know, being able to be a part of something bigger than you, to be able to grow a community, and maybe at some point have enough... it sounds awful going into it, but have enough, like, power or influence to actually be able to make a difference in the gaming community, to be able to fund games that otherwise wouldn't be able to, or to be able to, you know, just provide people with the resources they need to make something that they have a vision for, but maybe don't have the resources to do so. And you know, I love gaming to its core. I love what it stands for, and I think being able to give back in a way that's more than just being a player or promoter is something that I really want to work towards. Yeah, that's a big reason of why I wanted to start doing YouTube. Amusing Light. I am pretty much your average gamer who enjoys Let's Plays and game reviews. My question for you is, what got you into gaming, and what was your first game? You know, I actually had to sit down for a long time to think about this one, because looking back, I think there were like 3 big times where gaming really drew me in and, you know, made me think that it's something that I wanted to really do something around. When I was like 5 or 6 years old, my aunt, my dad's youngest sister, who's closer to my age than she is to his age, gave me an old original Game Boy. And I remember playing the absolute shit out of that. I had, I believe, the original Super Mario for it, but then I want to say Christmas of 97 or 98, I got a Nintendo 64. And just played the crap out of Super Mario 64. And actually got so drawn into gaming at that point in my life that my parents actually had to take away my game console because I would play it so much, so often, and be just so immersed into it that I would just like sit and bounce on the couch for hours at a time playing something. Then again in 2001, I remember playing both Halo and Metroid Prime, and those were my first introductions into shooters, and just kind of changed how I viewed games as a whole, because at that point I had mostly played open-ended adventure games like Banjo-Kazooie and Super Mario 64 and stuff like that, but getting into something that was as fast and action-packed as Halo and something that was so deep as Metroid Prime kind of changed my perspective on everything. But then again in 2006 and 2007, The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion came out, and I dumped way too much time into that. Again, to the point where like my parents had to restrict my playtime, where I was only allowed to play for an hour a day during weekdays because of schoolwork and sports and all of that, and I wasn't balancing my time well because I just loved gaming too much. But in 2007, over the summer, I was at a wrestling camp and dislocated my knee. So I got sent home from the camp and wasn't allowed to walk for a week afterwards to let everything reset. And my buddy Russ brought over Mass Effect, which he hadn't really touched. I think he had bought it and started playing it and didn't like it that much. And me being completely drugged out on oxycodone for my knee, just played it for a week straight, beat it all the way through, gave it back to him and said, "This is one of the greatest games I've ever played. You have to try it." And ever since then, like, Mass Effect has been a huge part of stuff that I absolutely love in gaming. And I've gone on way too long about this, but, there's just been this, like, ebb and flow over the years of what games have been really important to me and amazing years for gaming. And I don't know, those are just, like, the big points that, I've gone completely off a tangent, but it really got me thinking, like, what were the big things in gaming for me that really made me love it? And I think those are like the three big peaks that made me realize that it is an art form that I am wholly in love with. Code Demo 66, again, thank you for all of your requests lately. They have saved me from trying to find some other stuff to play while wading through some stuff that didn't look too interesting. But I'm just a chill dude that likes playing all kinds of games and just does YouTube as a hobby. But how did you get your name? So, I've been watching Let's Plays on YouTube for maybe 2.5, 3 years now, and I saw people like Jacksepticeye and Markiplier who have iconic names that, I know it's not the case with Jacksepticeye, but I learned a long time after the fact that his real name's actually Sean. But I liked the way that they worked in names into their moniker. And my name is Cole. Well, it's actually Nicholas, but I've been called Cole since birth. And I wanted to come up with something that incorporated my actual name into the channel name and my moniker and all of that, so that when I'm playing with people, when people call me Cole, or if that's in terms of like actually knowing me, or if it's in terms of only knowing me from the channel, people are still calling me by my actual name. So I wanted to be able to create something that was interesting and unique, but was still exclusively me and how people refer to me as a person in both my real life and on here. So, yeah. I wanted to combine all of those aspects, and there's not a lot that you can do with coal. Coal, I mean, it's a fucking fossil fuel. If you guys have any better ideas, throw them down in the comments, because CoalFire was pretty much the only thing I ever came up with. Yeah, that's how I got my name. Iraqi Gamer. I'm watching your videos and I don't know what you're saying because I'm not very good in English, but your videos are very cool and I think you will get thousands of subscribers soon. Dude, you are one of the most supportive people I've ever come across in anybody's channels, and Jesus, it just, every time you say something like this, it tickles me inside in ways that I can't properly put into words. But your questions, where are you from and how old are you? I know my questions are trifle, but I just want to write a comment for you. I'm writing this comment from Google Translate, so don't bother if my English is terrible. Dude, I don't know what language you speak, if it's Kurdish or Arabic, but your English is obviously far better than my skills in your language are. But where am I from? I grew up in Kansas City, dead center of the Midwest, bigger city, not huge, but yeah, I grew up there and I still live in the Midwest. Not Kansas City anymore because I moved out for college and all that joyous whatnot, but yeah, still living in the Midwest. Good old farmland of the USA. Hooray. And I am 25 years old. Jesus, I'm already 25. Fuck. And lastly, but not leastly, Gumby484. I started a YouTube from Minecraft to help people with redstone. I don't know what redstone is, and share my creations. After I tried to branch out and found very little support. Yeah, that's shitty. Since most just wanted Minecraft-related stuff. I'm glad you're doing this because it's rekindling my love of creativity towards videos. In fact, this morning I reinstalled OBS and got it all set up to actually record while we play together now. I find gaming to be such a social love-hate relationship with our society, because most think that sitting around and playing games, it's lazy, when in reality it's much more social than any sport that I've played. I can't wait to see where you go, because I know it's only up from here, and I hope I can be that small stepping stone to get you there. Jesus, man. Hard-hitting stuff here. For anybody else, Amusing Light and Gumby484 are both fraternity brothers of mine from college, and who I've kept up very regular contact with, and we play games all the time, and having them on the channel every once in a while is absolutely awesome. I play games with them several nights a week, and it is essentially the highlight of my social life, and, you know, without them I would be a stir-crazy cat dad going insane in a shitty apartment. But yeah, love you guys. My only question is that if there's one game you could play on the channel, what would it be right now? What would it be back then before you started YouTube? And what would you like to play on in the future? Keep on keeping on. Oh, what would I want to play right now? I think I'd really like to do just like a nostalgic playthrough of Metroid Prime, but I think because it would be such a ridiculously long series and I've forgotten so much about it, that, you know, it wouldn't be for anybody but myself. I might do that in the far future when, you know, there's enough people here that I could just sit back and talk about one of my favorite now retro games, in maybe just like a little compilation series where I run through everything and I cut out all the non-interesting stuff, all the backtracking, and I don't know, just have a good old nostalgic run through of the whole game. That'd be a lot of fun. What would it be back before you even started YouTube? I think if I'd been doing this a couple years ago, I definitely would have done some Dark Souls videos. Because I started playing Dark Souls in college when the Prepare to Die edition was released on PC, and just had so much fun with it. And near the end of it, a whole bunch of people would like come and sit in my room and watch me play it, and it was such a fantastic experience in both the sense of personal accomplishment and beating the game my first time through, and having people that were like interested in watching me play it. It was a really kind of surreal experience that I didn't think would ever carry on into something like this. What do I want to play in the future? Dude, I have no idea. I play stuff that has come out that day, so I can try and be the first video on it. But, I mean, coming up in the near and further future are going to be games like the full releases of Soul and Luca and maybe Darkest Dungeon if it gets fully funded, as well as Scorn, because I funded that as well, and I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on the demo to play that for the channel. But I think it would be really fun to do a like an actual horror series, because I've seen stuff like Markiplier's Outlast, and even while Outlast 2 was absolute shit, Outlast 1 was interesting enough that it made some really cool series, as well as like Amnesia. I was never able to get into Amnesia. I never liked it all that much, but I think a good horror series would be good for the community and good for the channel, and I think just good content in general, because I enjoy the way horror games make me feel, and I like to think that I can be funny during them. But that is all of the comments for this community Q&A. Thank you so much for all of your questions. I still want to learn more about you guys, and I'd like to do reading your comments videos and community Q&As, and hopefully when I actually get fiber internet, I'll start streaming so I can actually interact with everybody. But I don't know, the idea of actually being able to interact with you guys in a live setting means a lot to me, to be able to like pull it off and pull it off well, which is why I haven't started doing it yet, because I have like 5 megs a second internet up, down actually, and like 2 up, and that is not conducive for streaming. But I really look forward to interacting with all of you guys in the future, and I don't know, maybe I can get some Arabic or Kurdish subtitles depending on what it is Iraqi Gamer speaks. I don't want a language barrier to keep you from, you know, knowing what's going on here. But Jesus Christ, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. My name is CoalFire, and I will see you next time.